Twin Cities and to the Timberwolves family. This offseason, the Wolves added to their talented roster by acquiring Jordan Bell, Treveon Graham, Jake Layman, Shabazz Napier, and Noah Vonleh. All 5 players are young with upside and fit Gerson Rosas' vision for a roster that features versatile players who fit the modern NBA game. Jordan Bell spent the last 2 seasons with the Golden State Warriors, averaging 4 points and 3 rebounds in 13 minutes a game. The 24-year-old has played in 32 playoff games, including winning an NBA title in 2018. Treveon Graham is entering his 4th NBA season. He's played in 125 career games with Charlotte and Brooklyn, averaging 4 points and 2 rebounds in 16 minutes a game. The 25-year-old has played in 5 playoff games, all coming with the Nets last season. Jake Layman has played for the Portland Trail Blazers the last 3 seasons and is coming off his best year as a pro. In 71 games, he averaged 8 points on 51% shooting. Jake has appeared in 9 playoff games, 6 of those coming this past season. Shabazz Napier is a 5-year NBA vet, having played with Miami, Orlando, Portland, and Brooklyn. Napier is coming off a season with the Nets where he averaged a career-high 9 points a game and a career-high 3 assists. Noah Vonleh has played in 299 career games in his 5-year NBA career, where he's averaged 5 points and 5 rebounds. Noah spent the 2018-19 season with the New York Knicks, where he started a career-high 57 games and averaged career bests of 8 points and 8 rebounds. To tip off today's press conference, we'll get a few words from President of Basketball Operations, Gerson Rosas, then head coach Ryan Saunders, and then open it up to some questions from the media. Gerson?
Thanks, Alan. First off, we want to thank you guys for being here today. Like to welcome not only the individuals here with us, but their families as well. For us, it's another step forward in building our identity and continuing to grow and develop our roster. We're excited to have Jordan Bell, Treveon Graham, Jake Layman, Shabazz Napier, Noah Vonleh, and their families here as we build this organization. When we looked at this summer and how we wanted to put the team together, having individuals that come from winning programs that have had success at different points of their career, whether that's college or whether that's in the pros, is important to us. The way Ryan and I see the team coming together, how we're going to play offensively and defensively, all of these individuals give us good depth, give us good versatility. And the one thing that I would add that we all have in common, and I'd put myself and Ryan in, is we all have something to prove. This is a very hungry and committed group. These are young guys that are up and coming and we feel have something to prove, the same way Ryan and I do and the same way the Minnesota Timberwolves do. And for us, this is where it begins. It's putting the team together, building an identity, and making sure every day we're getting better and doing everything that we can to bring a winner here to Minnesota with the Timberwolves.
We feel really good about the guys we have up here today. And like Gerson said, we're a hungry group, and all these guys here, just in conversations with them, they understand that we have things individually, obviously, that we want to prove, but then also collectively. And individually goes into collectively into terms of the mindset that we have here in Minnesota and moving forward with the Timberwolves organization. One thing that's great about this group of guys too, besides their winning mentality, is they're all high character individuals. So being high character individuals, coming together with already a group of high character individuals is just going to make the process of growing together even better and even more fun, just as a collective group with things. I talked to a number of these guys, and it's one of the things that is so special, I think, in terms of each individual, is that they know what their roles are in terms of how they play. And you don't find that all the time in the NBA, is these guys know what their strengths are, they understand things that they can improve upon, and then they understand that with that, we really need to get them to buy in terms of what we want to do as an organization, offensively, defensively, and then culturally as well. Having that hungry mindset, being competitive, that's what's going to make Minnesota Timberwolves basketball special in the future and make us a sustainable success.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. We'll open it up to some questions from the media. We'll get a couple of microphones being passed around. A reminder, if you could state your name and your affiliation before asking your question, that would be great. To kick things off, let's start with Sid.
How many of these players are signed to multi-year contracts?
So we, part of this group we acquired in free agency, and part we acquired via trade. So Jake Layman is on a multi-year deal. The rest of the guys here are like us, trying to prove ourselves and build a strong future for each and every one of us. But as we put the team together this summer, we identified certain positions, certain areas to address, and these guys met it. It's very interesting how they play and what their background is about, but they're coming here to prove something, and that means a lot to Ryan and myself.
John Krasinski from The Athletic. Jake, just as you kind of looked at the options that you had this summer, what made you kind of think that this was the right fit, and what do you think you can bring to the table here right from the get-go?
Before I say anything, I want to say thank you to my new wife for being here today. We just got married on Saturday, if you guys didn't know. But yeah, back to your question. For me, in free agency, it was all about going somewhere that really wanted me and wanted me to be a part of their system, and really believed in me. With Gers and Coach Ryan, I definitely felt that way. I felt really comfortable talking to them on the phone and everything. So yeah, I feel great about being here.
Brian, with Shabazz, he's had a lot of experience in playing in a couple different systems, but also as a point guard and off the ball. What do you think he can bring to your offense here alongside Jeff?
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about playing with not necessarily positions defined. And Shabazz is someone that and I'm sure he remembers, but I remember having him in for a draft workout here, and I always really liked his competitive fire and just what he brought to the group and that winning mentality. So with that, having a winner on the court, you always want to make sure you have guys who have that mentality on the court, point guard, shooting guard, whatever it may be. I'm a fan of playing multiple ball handlers as well. And the way Shabazz he's able to push the ball and being a scoring guard off pick and rolls, that's something that teams definitely want in this modern NBA.
Danny Cunningham from Score North for Treveon and Shabazz. You guys are coming from Brooklyn, a place where there was a cultural reset not too long ago, and it really paid off this past season. Do you see any similarities so far between what needed to be done culturally there and what's already starting to be done here?
I think there are some similarities, but obviously two teams are different. With there, I think being in Brooklyn, for myself coming from Portland with Ed Davis, our mindset was just trying to bring some type of winning mentality. And obviously you had guys there in Brooklyn that already knew how to win, but they just needed a little push. And that's kind of the way I'm coming in here. I'm learning how to win myself, and I think with the group of guys and the group of guys that's been an addition, I think we can do a lot of great things here.
Piggybacking off of what he said, about the same. I went to Brooklyn from Charlotte. Just wanted to, win. Charlotte, we didn't make it to the playoffs. Brooklyn made it to the playoffs. So I learned a lot last year just about winning mentalities, and I want to bring that same thing here in the fire that I have to play hard and come every day to attack and get my teammates better. This is something that I bring to the table and want to bring here.
Britt Robinson with The Athletic. First for Noah, last year you took a vast majority of your threes above the break. A lot of times most people regard big men as like corner threes. Is that something that was more of a system thing, a comfort thing? How did that work out? And then for the entire group of players, you guys have been in the league 3 or 4 years now. The NBA has changed a lot in that time, and I just open it up to everybody after Noah talks about how you've had to adjust your game in recent years to reflect the modern NBA.
I mean, I take pride in my game. I feel like I have a pretty good or great work ethic, so I put the work in when I get in the game. I don't see why I should be shy looking for my shot. So I tried to look for it a lot last year compared to other places where I was at. I didn't really have the opportunity to showcase some of those things. But being in New York, they kind of let me spread my wings and grow as a player. So I just tried to look for my shot, be aggressive, and just keep getting better. That was it.
For me, my people have always said like I never had a position, so I think with the way basketball is going in NBA, with positionless basketball, it's a perfect fit for me just because the versatility that I bring as far as like switching screens, guarding 1 through 5. So I think the way it's going, defensively, I think that's something that's to my advantage. Obviously, I'm not as good as a three-point shooter as the rest of the guys on the up here, but obviously just keep working on it and keep working on it. So.
Jace Frederick, St. Paul Pioneer Press. First off, Jake, please tell me this is not your honeymoon.
Not the honeymoon, no.
Shabazz, you obviously getting traded, you don't control where you land, but coming to a spot where point guard was a need here, do you feel like this is a pretty good fit for you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a great fit. I think from talking with Ryan and Gerson, I think just coming here and just, showing my competitive nature and, just being who I am. I've always felt like who I am as a player is somebody that's going to go out there and work hard. I've never been the tallest player on my team, so that's something I've never relied on. I've relied on my quickness, my ability to score, my ability to play defense, and those are the things that's got me here. And obviously, there's a lot of things I continue to work on every single day, but I think who I am as a person fits here perfectly. I'm excited to be here. Whether it was trade or whether it was I was signed here, this is the place I want to be.
Shabazz, kind of following up on what I asked Ryan, what did you take away from your experience playing with D'Angelo Russell and Damian Lillard over the past years, and how did you kind of find a synergy with them when you were on the floor with them and when you were backing them up or coming in behind them?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me was being in Portland, being amongst Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, being amongst those guys and watching them work and being a part of their, point guard group, as you say, when we, work out before practice. I think that taught me a lot, and I've always said to my family members, my friends, I needed to be in Portland at that time. It was rough. It was a rough start for me, and at times I didn't feel like I was meant to be in the NBA, and I wasn't really confident who I was, and being there and seeing who they were and being able to, play with them and compete against them, it showed me a lot of things, and my time there has helped me to get to where I am now. And to fast track to Brooklyn, being able to play with D'Angelo Russell and Spencer Dinwiddie and those guys, it made it easier because I was with two of the top players in the NBA and at the point guard position. And to be able to play with those guys, it made it a little easier for me to play in Brooklyn with D'Angelo as well as Spencer.
Jordan, just coming from Golden State and all the success that you had there, how do you kind of see the transition to a team that is more trying to be on the up and coming and trying to prove itself? And what kind of opportunities do you see in terms of maybe having even a little bit bigger role than you did have with the Warriors?
Obviously, the main reason I came here was just for opportunity. I was very grateful for the 2 years I had in Golden State. Got a championship with them, made it to the finals 2 years in a row. And for somebody coming into the league, couldn't ask for anything better, especially being surrounded by the guys that was around me. But just the main thing here is just to bring everything I learned in Golden State, how to win, how to make playoff pushes, things I learned from Draymond, Andre, all the great players over there, and bring it over here, try to instill it in people over here. And like you said, we're in a momentum change right here, trying to make something good happen. So I think me just bringing the knowledge that I have as far as how to win, just not as far as playing basketball, but just how to win, how to get through certain things, how to make adjustments during playoff runs and things like that. And being around Draymond is one of the best guys at making adjustments in games. Just bringing that knowledge that I have and hopefully doing something special over here this year.
Jordan, you talked earlier in a separate interview about how you think this team can be special, and you said especially with the young coach. What is it about Coach Saunders, I guess, that maybe intrigued you so much and has you so excited to play for him?
I think nowadays it's you don't really find coaches that you can relate to. Coach Brian is very young, so you can talk to him about certain things. And so that it just makes it a lot easier just communicating with somebody you want to play for, even harder when, you know, somebody's that close in age, you can relate to so many things. When he asks you to do things, it makes you want to do it a little bit more just because, like, you know, it's kind of like, I told my brother this other day, he's kind of like a teammate who just doesn't play. He's kind of like the vet on the team just because how young he is. Not, I hope that didn't mean that in a disrespectful way, but like he's kind of like he's on the team really because how young he is. So like you can have a glass of wine with him, you can talk to him. Like we were in Vegas just chilling, talking about, he was telling me about Drake, and I was like, it's like Coach Kurt's never talked to me about Drake before, so so it was kind of like, it was like I've never had a young coach before, so also, what was the question? I really
You did great.
He's earning some playing time here today.
Any other questions? All right, we'll have a photo opportunity up here on the stage with the players' jerseys. All right, that's going to conclude our press conference today. The players and Gerson and Ryan will be available for interviews to the side of the stage here. Thank you all for attending today's event, and welcome to the Wolves, Jordan, Treveon, Jake, Shabazz, and Noah.